It's deranged, royal fae. They'll act crazy all day. They'll apologize for the fail, but still scream and wail. It's deranged, royal fae. Yeah!
It isn't pride, but I thought I would start practicing. Because I'm funny that way. I know this is going to be into the background. It's just gonna be something to live with. So remember how I was like, yeah, I'm angry, I'm happy, I'm gonna fucking live. That lasted for all about a weekend or so. Surely the depression just started creeping on me, and now we're back. Almost back to square one. I'll try not to make this one drag on forever. I say, and then who knows, it might drag on forever. Something I had wanted to talk about a few weeks ago when my brain just went on camera. I want to talk about the masculine and feminine from the icon I have for the channel, where, funny enough, I actually associate the feminine one with a lot more of the aggression, anger, while the masculine one's a lot more the soft, gentle side. Like, you can even see this by the fact the feminine one's holding a fucking, like, hatchet behind their back, and then the masculine one is holding a teacup behind in their hand, you know. You could probably call either or any pronouns. So, whatever works. Just because one's feminine, one's masculine doesn't mean you can't use any and all. But I just thought it was interesting that I do associate them with the traditionally, stereotypes for the opposite presentation that they are. Literally, they're ways I do dress sometimes. You probably would have noticed from, like, over the channel. I need to eventually update it, especially to have, like, the longer hair. Don't know when I'll get around to that, but that's okay. I don't know if I actually needed to update it. Okay, maybe the feminine one, but the masculine one's not obvious. And honestly, it'd be a pretty easy edit. I just am a lazy sack of shit. I was really happy with how the Phoenix one turned out. The wings looked really nice on the Phoenix. I made cover up the names, but I made a Victorian-inspired birthday card. The only reason I put the bow on top here is because I accidentally put this big bow in the wrong spot. So the glue was there, and I had to, like, figure something to put there. And eventually I was like, okay, I'm going to do a tiny little bow. It's for my roommate. / ex. For this said Hummingbird. For Hummingbird's birthday, a couple of days early, we went to a gay bar. I did an outfit kind of that was like a slutty, steampunk, non-binary Jinx. It's my first time ever going to a gay bar, and I really wanted to enjoy myself, and I really wanted to get to know the scene, especially since I do want to get into drag on a more, like, actually, like, at the clubs kind of thing. So maybe one day I'll pick up a drag sibling or drag parent. But and it's probably my own fault. It's probably no one else's fault but mine. I just felt so fucking lonely. It's like everyone else had someone. Kitty and Hummingbird had each other. Kitty had her new partner. Her new partner had her friend. And it's just like everyone had physical closeness with someone. And I felt so isolated and like an outsider. Because I was also one of the only people that didn't have a drink. And I know it was myself that got in the way of having a good time. And then by the time the drag show actually started, we were in, like, this bad spot to actually see it at all. I don't know why we moved, because we originally had a good spot, and then we decided to move for some reason. But then Hummingbird's condition kicked in because she ran out of CBD. We suspect she has MS, and apparently a study came out that said CBD is actually really good for patients with MS. So we've been trying that, and, well, it's like watching the dead come back to life. She's been having good days for the first time in a long time. She doesn't need her walking stick. Like, the only thing that still seems to persist when the CBD is not, when the CBD hasn't run out, is her fatigue. And honestly, that's not bad in comparison to every fucking other symptom she's been having. So I'm very grateful to see her thriving and up and about again, She deserves a break from that, and she deserves to be happy, and I feel awful for her. But yeah, we ended up leaving earlier than planned, and I honestly was not going to complain about that. So long as we're at a good time, that's all that matters. Very much, not much. And the same day as the gay bar, I actually went on a little date to a cafe with another non-binary, local non-binary person. What was I gonna say? Polyamorous, queer, non-binary person. That's what I was gonna say. They were so sweet. Oh, they're so cute. If I get the permission, I will totally link to their TikTok. They only have one video thus far, but it's so precious, like them showing off their garden and stuff. Aw. We both dressed in cottagecore. I'll put a picture as well of my outfit. I did a gothic inspired cottagecore. I really wanted to wear my velvety red corset with it. So then I just went around that. I was originally gonna wear a longer skirt, but it was hot because I live in a hot area, and I was going to be taking the bus, and I had to walk half an hour to get to the bus. So also the skirt needed to be washed. So short skirt it was. Honestly, I didn't know what the fuck to do for cottagecore. I looked at cottagecore's accessories, and I just got even more confused. So I was like, okay, black rose earrings, because, off, and teapot, and flowers. It was nice. Even if we just stay friends, it was just really pleasant to be able to, have someone to talk to that's not linked to pining and emotional damage and all that jazz, and just resonate with. I hope we can at least stay friends at the very least, that we can keep chatting, hanging out, maybe even potentially be roommates, because it sounds like they're also looking for roommates eventually in the near future. But yeah, that was nice. And my dumb ass ended up getting on the wrong bus. So I live in a smaller town in the middle of fucking nowhere, and I had to take this one specific bus to get to one of the bigger cities. And so that bigger city has, its buses for within the city, and then it has some buses to go to other cities. So the bus to and from my city and that city is 60, and the bus I ended up getting on was 40. And the buses for in-city and out-city look different from each other, but all the out cities look the same as each other, and all the in cities look the same as each other. So I saw out city, and I saw 0, and I guess my brain auto-completed the 4 to a 6, or I just misread it. And I got on the bus, and before I actually left the city, I realized my mistake. It's this is not the right route. I was looking, and I looked up at the screen that shows you where the stops are, and I saw the name of the city we were going to be ending at, and I was like, because that city is 55 minutes away from where I live. I was like, no. So I got off in the city that I was currently in, and 55-minute drive, not even bus ride, drive. And I had to walk a long while to get to the next bus stop, but also I called for a Lyft to come pick me up. I was basically who's gonna get there first, a confirmation for a Lyft or the bus. The Lyft got there first. It was basically my choices were cheaper option of bus ride, but I'm gonna have to walk half an hour in the warmth and get home pretty late, or $30 for, because I already had a day pass, so it was just $2 for the entire day, so how many bus rides as I want, or pay $30+ for a ride, but I get to go home earlier and I don't have to worry about walking in the heat. I don't know, one sounded kind of better than the other. And then I was super sore the next day because it was such a long fucking day. And then, yeah, and still somehow went on a walk, half-hour walk to and from, and did some Pokemon Go to the grocery store the next day because I was feeling emotional. Hummingbird's birthday with their family. I'm not invited because I'm not family. When once upon a time I was invited to the family events, and I get it. I will say I will be so upset if Kitty's girlfriend's allowed to go. Because this is for, I would say partners counts family, but Metamors in this case, it feels like a bit of a far stretch. It doesn't help that the last time I went to one of the family events with Hummingbird's family was for her birthday last year, before the breakup. When I told Cappy about, like, I'm going to jokingly call it eviction notice. It's not really an eviction notice, but I'm going to jokingly call it that. When I told him about it, I don't know, I just was not really happy with his response. He was like, oh, don't rule out going back to your family and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, not even the girls want me going back to my family. It's just, even if things have gotten better there, I do not want to leave the state, and I still will have my baggage and trauma associated with them. On top of the struggle I'm already going through with mental health, it's not going to be a great combination. And my patience is going to be even thinner than it has in the past. Because in the past, I almost always just let my sister walk over me. And I feel like I'm not in a position where I'm going to hold back punches. But when I told Cappy about it, and then told Cappy about moving out, and there was just so many things that rubbed me wrong with what he had to say. Like, there's some stuff that obviously I agreed with, but just other things, it's just like, please shut up, you're not helping. I didn't say that to him, obviously. But later when he tried to be like, oh, I want to hold you, I want to comfort you, and I was like, I don't want to be pitied or coddled right now. My friend and I have been, I've been talking a bit about, being potential roommates and such. Kitty did have another talk with me and asked about, like, if I've made any attempts to work on the whole eviction thing, and I got to have a serious talk with her about my displeasure about how it was handled and stuff, and we had like a good hug and cry. Very clearly she felt awful, and it wasn't my intention. Like, not just for how she handled it, but just like my situation and how I literally feel like I've lost everything, and I gave up everything for Cappy, and I don't feel like Cappy would do the same. And that hurts. And that's scary to realize. And I don't know how the hell I'd even tell Cappy that, I haven't even told Cappy I start testosterone again. Love the asshole, but sometimes it drives me nuts. I have another date later in the day, or at some point today. It's going to be a picnic, making cookies. I hope it's still on. I'm not sure what time it's going to be at. I'm going to walk with her dog, and it's someone else, not the non-binary person I mentioned, but we're going to walk with her dog and, by the body of water, have a little picnic. The morning of the cafe date, he confessed that he actually has gone on 3 dates, but couldn't even get into the fact that they were holding hands or touching in any way, and don't think he could ever get past second base without his apprehension and such. And he thought, oh, if I have sex with someone, it will help with the feelings that he has with me getting intimate with Kitty's partner. But like, because he can't even get past where he's at, he's just like, I can't even rationalize how you could do it. And I'm like, well, okay, for a number of things here. Potentially manic, potentially depressed, and everyone's depression shows differently. Everyone's, anxiety and coping mechanisms are all different from each other. So it's just like he's thinking in a very black and white way. He's thinking in a very like, this is what I would do, so that's what everyone else would do. That's how I feel, that's how everyone else feel. He's also forgetting the fact that I've confessed to the fact that I've had sex, will not enjoy it. I've had sex for the sake of someone else, or not care for it, maybe rather than not enjoy it. Like I put myself in I grew up in an uncomfortable situation. I grew up with a grin and bear, lifestyle because of my home life and things like that. So it's like I am used to being in a skin crawl situation. And I feel like that's probably something that a lot of people who grew up feminine could relate to. Socialized and grew up female. But I'm not saying every single one. I'm not saying, masculine people can't, but I just feel like that's probably not uncommon. But there's just so many things. Like, we have different backgrounds and different things are stigmatized. I am polyamorous, for one. And so, whilst I the way I put Kitty, I realized, and my best friend, I've realized that I'm not saying my emotions and feelings towards Cappy aren't real. It's not like I do truly love him, but I realized that very excessive, that very strong of feelings was not true, genuine love, but mental illness. It was FP, it was obsession, it was possessiveness. It was not good or healthy for either or. And I knew in the moments that I wasn't healthy, but I was like, maybe I can filter this in a healthy way. Maybe I can work this in a healthy way. I should have seen a therapist the moment I saw symptoms of BPD or saw these symptoms. But I was so scared of COVID and I didn't think I'd had the money. I should have gotten myself on the Medicare, whatever the fuck it is, sooner than later. But yeah, so I'm like, how the fuck would I ever tell Cappy that those intense feelings I have was delusion, was mental illness, right? And here he is not feeling comfortable, feeling like he's at least comparing. I don't know if he feels guilty, but he's at least comparing, like, no other touch is like yours, none other can fill that hole that you can. They're not affectionate like you. And I'm like, okay, to be fair, my dude, they don't know you and you can't compare. Like, it's fair to say, like, for example, not compatible. Completely fair. Like, you need a very certain amount of affections, etc., certain kind of cuddly, certain kind of love language. Perfectly valid. Or even like, he's not ready. And I'm very glad he at least gave it a try. And maybe it will never be something he wants or needs to do. Maybe polyamory will never be a thing for him. And that's valid. Valid. All the valids. But he tried, and that's what matters. I do feel like he probably would have never told me if I never kind of pried, or I came up in a conversation based on things I was saying, like, you should try getting on dates and stuff. And he's like, well, I've done 3 now. And just the way he approached, like, saying how I can't rationalize how you could do it, it made me feel like he was trying to guilt me or shame me or something, And I will say, he gave me the okays. And I think the thing is he was so sure I wasn't going to act on it. I don't know. But part of the reason I did it was in a similar reason for him doing it was A, so I can get over my feelings of jealousy, and B, to let him feel like he can pursue relationships. Because he did cancel on one person because I was talking about my insecurities and jealousies, but I wasn't doing it so he would cancel. I didn't want that. I told him in the moment, like, don't do it. And he's like, all right, did it, too late. And I was just like, fuck. And he was going to call me controlling when I was like, don't do it. And then, of course, ceased because I actually didn't want her. I wanted Kitty. So I'm like, I'm a little confused now how I feel about Kitty's partner, because I was like, I'm not sure I vibe with them. And now I'm like, I really want to snuggle them. But it's just like, it's so lonely right now because I'm like in front of these people who used to be my biggest like snuggle buddies, and now I can't. I see them touching each other and touching others, like not just sexually or romantically, but just like I can't. I feel guilt asking, and I'm worried that anytime I ask because I need a hug, they're going to see as a setback. They're going to see me being depressed and struggling and use it for their little narrative of it's bad for my mental health. I'm bad for my mental health. I hope I'm going to do okay at the camp. I hope I don't relapse, and I hope I can, socialize and stuff. I hope it's going to be a positive thing and not negative. Oh, so when Cappy was talking about, like, I can't rationalize and such, and his intense feelings and things like that, it made me almost want to go and cancel the dates I had and just delete the dating apps and just not try anymore. But I had this thing with my best friend about, like, I can't keep waiting for him on a chance that maybe one day he'll ask me to move over there. That's not really fair to me. Doesn't matter how much I love him, but if we're not good for each other, or the situation's not good for us, there does not feel like there can be monogamy between us right now, let alone sometimes it feels like maybe even a relationship, when there's no guarantee of us ever being together forever, in person. Like, if we want, like, not even just domestic, but me living down the street, or me being able to take a bus or a quick little ride to his place, even a 2-hour drive would be closer than me having to hop on to a plane and it being like a 24 hours or more trip. The plane ride's not 24 hours, just the entire trip to get to the airport and to get. But that's not sustainable for monogamy, from as far as I can tell. That's not a relationship dynamic I want in monogamy. I gave up polyamory for this. I gave up my home and two of the people who have ever been best for me for this. For someone who's too spineless to give up anything for me, to go against his mom and not tell her that, like, me being polyamorous or having been in the past does not make me less of a person, that she has no right to say she's disappointed in him for loving when she herself was in a stigmatized romance with his father. If he's going to choose his mom over me, and that's valid, I'm not saying that makes him bad, but if he's going to choose someone over me, then I have every right to do the same. Maybe one day, whoever I might meet here locally, if I do date someone for real, outside of just, like, cute little coffee dates where we just hug, if I ever do romantically start being with someone else, I have every right to choose to be their local partner forever instead of his. If he's not making any effort or any real, like, he mentioned once that he liked the idea of me being local, but is not really pushing for it, isn't really asking for it, etc., etc. And I'm like, I can't keep waiting on that. Like, that's not enough. And I can't just keep waiting for him to be ready, I have to plan out my life. I have to figure shit out. I gotta get a new place to live and new furniture. I've been looking at Walmart. Walmart has some pretty good price stuff. I want to get myself a loft bed again. I used to have one. It helps save a lot of space, have your desk and your bed in the same thing. So Walmart actually has some for only a couple of $100, and same with mattresses. So I could get one actually for like under $1,000, or even, you know, half of $1,000. So that would be nice. There's also always looking at used furniture, like I guess on Craigslist and stuff like that. I need to see if I could keep the PC or buy it off of them, because technically this was a Frankenstein PC of stuff that Kitty had from our work. I had to move everything off their server too. That's a lot of stuff. I gave up everything. It's only from scratch, right? Starting new. Moving forward, right? That's all I can do. What else can I do, right? I keep on and off feeling bad that I like let on Cappy or something, because I'm a little less delusional than I was before, and realizing, you know, that maybe I'm not as obsessed with him or whatever. And now I feel like I've got him hooked, but not in the sense of that he would ask me to be his domestic partner. I'm not asking him to pick me over his mom, but at least stand up against her at the very least, you know. Honestly, one of the things when we started on monogamy is I was actually just finding my replacement. That he could find someone better suited for him, get himself a cis-het girl. Someone who's not bad for his mental health, whatever. Someone he could have kids with. And then maybe I could fade into obscurity. I hate that I relapsed. I hate that I'm almost, I wouldn't say ground zero, but I hate that I'm back here, and sometimes the fucking mental health hospital sounds good again. But then I can't risk it with my camp job right around the corner. I'm going to miss girls so much. And I'm going to miss this place. It was the one place that ever felt like home. Like fully actually my home. At least as an adult. Like, don't get me wrong, Cappy can feel like home, but like his house was not a home for me. Not fully. Lost everything. I'm sorry. It wasn't my intention to just start crying on camera. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. It's not Monday when I'm recording this. Obviously, how the hell would I have gotten up by 10:30 in my time zone? Whatever time it uploads. It's technically midnight on Sunday. Sunday being when Hummingbird's birthday is. So this hasn't happened yet. The event with her family. And so my plan is, because I got her 2 birthday gifts here, as to just leave it. I thought she was going to be sleeping out in the living room, but it sounds like she's going to be sleeping in the bedroom. So I was originally going to leave on the table next to her sleeping, but I guess I'll just leave it in front of her door instead, so she can see it first thing in the morning. And I guess I'll just hide away in here, distract myself as much as I can, dream, whatever, because I have 2 streams scheduled every Sunday. I don't know what else to do. And I know this is all my fault, and that sucks so much. I can't really blame anyone but myself, and I can't fully feel resentful. And now I feel like I'm hurting more people. I don't know what to do. And I guess I just keep moving forward. Sorry. It's been a long while since you guys saw me cry on camera, hasn't it? I think the last time you saw it was when my dog Moira passed away. My family's dog Moira passed away. So... Also, apparently, Kitty has corrected and said it wasn't actually that they've been discussing it for a week. They've been wanting to discuss it with me for a week. And I did tell her, like, hey, I really wish I'd been part of the conversation, that you guys could have been like, things are awkward or uncomfortable, we need to change stuff. And I told her, like, please, from now on, until I have officially left, please let me know. What am I doing that's not helping, or whatever? What am I doing that's contributing in a bad way? And she couldn't give me anything on the spot. And so she said, I'll have to get back to you later. I'm like, okay. I don't know if she ever will, but I sure hope. Because here's one of the problems. I have to play, like, hide and seek with boundaries, especially with Hummingbird. Like, I accidentally found a boundary that I breached with Hummingbird. And it was me, like, leaning my head up against her when we were watching something. And I could tell it was something that made her uncomfortable because she tensed up, and then I stopped when I realized, oh shit. But it's just like, I need them to communicate with me. It's so hypocritical that they got on my case for not communicating, and then they're not doing it back. Again, I'm not their partner anymore, but I'm still fucking here. And I still would hope that I'm their friend. 4 years. Yeah, I know I haven't been great, and I know I'm not easy to live with, but it's just... It is what it is, what it is. But yeah, so... I guess that's it. I don't want to keep going any longer. It's already half an hour. If there was anything I missed, then I missed it, and it can come back for the next time. I did a fun TikTok, though. I'll link it if I remember to. Maybe I'll put, like, a sample of it. Just showing my gender presentation and such. My fashion sense. If anything, it was probably just to flex my fashion sense. But yeah. As always, I appreciate those who just sat here while I cried, and thank you guys for those who do watch. Thank you all so much for watching, so much for watching, and I hope you all have a gay day.
Well, they're glad that you stayed, yet you wasted yet another day. Their videos are a bore, but they've got lots more in store. It's Deranged, Royal Fae. Yeah.